Okay, so we have a SnowMesh. Now, in most of the games, you use a SnowMesh with another camera, like it's going from above and it's rendering. Over here, we don't have a camera that is rendering from above. So it's not an orthographic camera, it's just a shader. This is a shader on the ground. And then we have a shader for the actually SnowMesh over here, where I actually walk. The color can be changed, but I just put this to be a little bit more blue on the snow that it's above. And the snow it's coming back to original size, if you see. Of course, if I jump, it's not gonna detect. Okay. The second thing is, let's see, if you change the position of this, it's not gonna have problems. Now this is static, but I'm gonna use the static now. So if I change this, the position, or add another one, it's not gonna have problems. Still gonna detect the position correctly. So if I want to add or remove a snow mesh, it will remove it. The snow mesh is this. And the texture on it can be changed. This is my texture all low poly, but you can change. It's having two textures, one from above and one that is from over here and the top. So it's two textures. The shader, I took it from YouTube, from someone on the that put it on the YouTube, but I modified because he was having waves at the edge. But my problem with the snow mesh is over here. I'm gonna show you. So, and probably the most of the games they have this with snow mesh. So if I put with waves nearby here, those waves from this size can be see empty over here. But you see, mine is bending down, so I can get it very, very close. And I'm not gonna have that problem because over here, the mesh is bending down on the edges. If I want to make it more high, I can make it more high, but this is gonna change all the snow everywhere. I will have to duplicate the shader to have different size, but I can go to have snow more high or with more waves if I want. And the bending can be more or less. You see, this is what's the original. Yeah, I can show you. This is what's the original. So when actually you go down here, see, this is the problem, main problem with plain mesh snow. But when you're bending down the edges like this, see that problem disappear. You're gonna bend a little down. We don't have that problem anymore. And everything looks natural. Mhm. I can actually put another mesh next to it. It doesn't have a collider if that is the problem, so it will not eat performance. At the moment, it's irrelevant my FPS over here in the game because I'm recording this and I'm having quite a huge map over here. It's 3.5 kilometers or 3.5 kilometers, so it's pretty huge with lots of buildings and it's not all uh, rendered properly. I still have to use the stream system and stuff. Um, all right, now I have the problem with the time thing using a cozy system. And we find it and put back the daytime. In this way we can see this now correctly. Um, Over here we can see the gaps, but either I put the snow at the level that I want, because otherwise I could not see my player anymore if it's too much. This camera should. I mark it static because they need to be occluded. That's why. So pretty much that's it. Uh, it's all based on script that goes on the player, and another one on this mesh. And whenever I add a scene with the new SnowMesh, it will not have problems. It will be detected. And it's only one camera for the player, and is not used to render this mesh. We don't need a camera on this. A very smart thing with the shader, I change a couple of things on the shader, which have been this part over here to actually bend the edges, and then I add to texture instead of the color. It was very cool with the color. Then the float for the tiles. Now this float over here, I don't need that one. I will have to delete it. It was just a test. And it's blending very good with the ground. Of course, I can control the recovering of the snow to be recovered. I change even some scripts to actually recover in another type of way, because the recovering it was limited, but now I can recover it in how fast I want and when I want, based on a bool, pausing, because sometimes it maybe is not snowing, and only when it's snowing can actually recover. Another thing, yes, of course, you can actually put it on objects. Let's say I want to put it on that uh, on this car over here, even if it's overkilling for these small objects. I mean, not this one, but you know, there are still objects that putting a snow mesh. For not having such a big amount of bending without changing and duplicating the shader, you can actually do like this, and this will not actually uh, this case is a little bit like not the best of the best. Still, it will be good to actually have a duplicate of this shader and changing it. And probably I will have to make in the shader in such a way that edges do not be in waves. Otherwise, I will have to change the noise, which is the waves. Um, will be less, something like this. Let's test it. kind of work because I changed the scale. It's kind of, I should actually go and change the scale from the script because it's a predefined scale. So that's why it's doing not very precise over there. Let's see, that will be snow controller. And I will have to change the properties over here. Yeah. Can change even the spot. For example, let's say that it's not a player, it's a big car, and it needs to make a huge spot around. Let's say like this. See, it's doing much bigger. This is not even enough. Let's put it like 20. Okay. So now it's making a bigger, meaning much more the snow.